right, data collection, my favorite. This is an example of a routine data sheet that we adapted. And this is one way that you could collect your data. So you're going to have a task analysis for your routine on the left side in the red box. It's customizable. You should be able to make it a fit for each student. At the bottom, you're going to have customizable criteria and the level that you consider mastery. So you're going to determine how often that you want them to take data. And if you don't have a preference, we recommend weekly. So if you work on it every day, weekly is a great data point. But if you're not meeting as often as every day, you might not want to collect every week. And while you are collecting your data, you need to make sure that you're reviewing it and reflecting. So on this data sheet, reflecting on the data, we might need to make a couple of changes. So reflecting on this data, we have 3 2s in a row. And so according to this, that is a correct response with a partial prompt for completing the step. So I would start thinking about why we might be at 2s every time on this step. Do we need a different or more powerful reinforcer? Do we need to take that step and teach it in discrete trial or small group? Do we need to use a different prompt? When you analyze your data, those are the kind of questions that you're going to go through to see what you need to do next or what changes you need to make. And so if you see 4s, that means that you need to make sure that you're providing reinforcement. So in this one, they went from a 2 to a 3 to a 4. And when they got to that 4 and they were independent for the first time, you need to make a really big deal out of it. Maybe you have a little dance party, like in the moment, 2-minute dance party or whatever it is, because they're doing it independently and you want to make that like the coolest thing ever. Also, when you get to a 4, you can start to generalize that skill across people in other settings and get them using that skill somewhere else. And a helpful tip is that you should select data days, or you could select data days and assign a staff member to that task. So when I was using routines in my classroom, we had certain routines that we collected on certain days. And so I had one person that was assigned to collect that data on each day. And it made the process quick and smooth. And then we got more data that way than when it wasn't assigned and it wasn't on a regular day. So that was a really good tip that helped me make sure that I was getting the data that I needed.